Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're going to explore maybe the most incredible machine you'll ever own. The one that's actually inside your chest right now.
Your heart.
Exactly. But we're not talking about metaphors or poetry. We are talking about pure, quantifiable work. Volume, pressure, and just relentless labor.
Right. And I think that's the key. Because the heart is usually so quiet and so reliable, we almost forget it's there. It's just this abstract thump-thump in the background.
Yeah.
But the sources we looked at, especially one called the Hidden Pulse of Life, they really dig into the raw statistics. And when you see the numbers, it's just staggering.
I think the thing that gets me the starting point is that this organ is working completely outside of your control. I mean, can you imagine trying to manage anything 247, 365 days a year
Without a break.
without ever taking a break, without even a conscious check-in? It
Yeah.
just runs.
It never asks for a day off, never needs a nap. So our mission today is pretty simple, really. We're going to try and quantify that work. We're taking this thing we can't see and turning it into numbers you can actually wrap your head around.
And the main thing we're unpacking from the sources is this figure they call the annual cardiac output. And I have to say, it's a number that really, it really makes you stop and think.
So let's just get right into it. The big reveal.
Okay, let's do it. The sources give us this one primary, just monumental number. In one single year, your heart, this muscle that's about the size of your fist pumps, more than 3 million liters of blood.
3 million liters. I mean, it's a number that's so big, it's almost meaningless at first.
Right. It's hard to visualize.
You need some context. You need an analogy to even begin to process what that looks like.
And the sources gave a pretty good one. They said to think of a huge water tank. But I think we can do even better.
Oh, yeah.
3 million liters, that's like filling up an Olympic-sized swimming pool.
Right.
Not just once, but about 1.25 times over.
Exactly. And let's not just think about volume. Let's think about weight. 3 million liters of blood. You're talking about moving over 3,000 metric tons of fluid every single year.
That's insane.
It's like your heart is pumping the equivalent weight of, I don't know, several large commercial airplanes, nonstop.
And it's all happening inside you right now, and you feel absolutely none of it. That physical effort it's just completely invisible to us.
It's the definition of biological efficiency.
Yeah.
And think about the pressure it takes to do that. This isn't just some lazy river.
No.
The blood is being forced through, nearly 60,000 miles of blood vessels if you laid them all end to end.
That's incredible.
So to move that much volume against all that resistance with a muscle the size of a pear? We can't build a machine that can do that so quietly and for so long.
So you have this huge annual output, this 3 million liter number, but it all comes from this tiny, silent source of power.
Right. And that's the result. The annual number is the result, not the process. The real magic is how it gets there.
Okay, so that's the next step. How does it actually add up to 3 million liters?
Well, you have to shift your focus from the big annual number to the moment-to-moment work.
Yeah.
The relentless minute-by-minute commitment.
And this is where the sources get a bit more technical, right? They start talking about things like heart rate and stroke volume.
That's the formula, basically. Cardiac output is just your heart rate multiplied by your stroke volume.
So heart rate is just beats per minute. That's simple enough.
Yep. And stroke volume is just how much blood the heart pushes out with each one of those beats. So for an average adult, you're looking at maybe 70 beats a minute.
Okay.
And with each beat, it ejects about 70 milliliters of blood.
So if you do the math, 70 times 70, that's about 4,900 milliliters. So almost 5 liters of blood.
Every single minute.
Every minute. Wow.
And that's how you get to 3 million liters a year. It's that constant 5 liters a minute pace. It shows you that every second really does count. There's no room for error.
And the reason it has to be so constant, as the sources describe, is that it's a delivery service. It has to get blood to literally every single cell in your body.
It's the ultimate logistics operation. And it's not just a one-way street. It's delivering oxygen and nutrients, sure, but it's also hauling away all the waste products, like carbon dioxide.
So if the delivery stops, it's not just that the cells are starving.
They start poisoning themselves with their own waste. The backup is just as dangerous as the lack of supply.
And to do that, it just requires repetition on a scale that it's hard to comprehend. The sources mention thousands of operations daily, which almost feels like an understatement.
It is. I mean, each beat is an incredibly complex operation. It's not just a simple squeeze. You've got this whole intrinsic electrical system.
With a pacemaker.
Exactly, the pacemaker cells, the SA node. It's sending out these perfectly timed signals to make the muscle contract in perfect sequence. It's an autonomous electrical grid powering a hydraulic pump.
Which is pumping into this massive, massive network of vessels. It's not an open pipe.
And that's where something called peripheral resistance comes in. It's an engineering marvel. The heart has to push hard enough to get blood to the tips of your toes.
Fighting gravity the whole way.
Fighting gravity, fighting friction. But, and this is the key, it has to do it without the pressure being so high that it bursts the delicate little capillaries near the heart itself.
It's managing pressure constantly.
It's a constant balancing act.
You know, we think of hard work as lifting things, running, consciously doing something. But this is the real work, this invisible system managing electricity, pressure, volume,
Yeah.
all while you're just sitting here talking.
It really puts our conscious efforts to shame, doesn't it? The sources were right on that point. A person couldn't manually manage even a tiny fraction of this workload.
Which brings up a really important question. If this system is so powerful, so robust, so perfectly engineered, what's its weak spot? What happens if it pauses?
That's the paradox, isn't it?
Mm.
For all its power, the entire system is built on a terrifying dependence on continuity, on never stopping.
So it's incredibly resilient until it's not.
Exactly. And the source material is very, very clear about this. There is no backup system. There's no redundancy. If even a small part of that pumping operation stops,
Yeah.
the whole body just collapses.
And why is it so immediate? I mean, our bodies are great at storing energy in fat and muscle. Why does a lack of blood flow cause such a total instant catastrophe?
It's all about the brain.
Ah,
Your brain uses a massive amount of oxygen. Your muscles can, struggle on without oxygen for a short time, but your brain cells,
yeah.
your neurons, they can't. They need a constant second-by-second supply.
Oh, if the heart stops.
The heart even hiccups. If that perfect pressure delivery stops for just a few seconds, the oxygen supply to the brain is cut. You get immediate neural dysfunction, unconsciousness, and then every other system just cascades into failure.
It's not a slow decline then.
It's a switch being flipped.
Yeah.
The command center shuts down instantly.
So it's this absolute powerhouse machine moving millions of liters, and yet its integrity is measured in seconds. A tiny electrical glitch, a momentary drop in pressure, and the whole thing just comes apart.
And that's what connects all the numbers. That's why the workload matters so much. That tireless effort, moving thousands of tons of fluid, it's not just background noise. It's the one thing that allows a single heart to carry, to carry a full life. That's the so what.
That really is the core of this deep dive, isn't it? To just quickly recap the most amazing facts from the sources. First, your heart is pumping over 3 million liters of blood a year. That's an Olympic swimming pool, and then some.
A staggering volume.
And second, despite that power, the whole operation is so critical that if any part of it stops, the entire system collapses almost instantly from oxygen starvation.
The key takeaway really is just our profound and silent dependence on it. We walk around making choices, thinking we're in control, but our actual existence is tethered to this immense automatic operation that gives us zero feedback
Until it goes wrong.
until it goes wrong.
So as we wrap up, I think I want to leave you with a final thought, one that kind of builds on that sense of wonder and, frankly, a little bit of fear from the sources.
Okay.
Given that this whole massive, critical operation runs completely outside of our will, I mean, it requires this perfect timing and mechanical power, what does that really tell us about the hidden mastery of our own biology?
It's a good question to sit with. It makes you reflect not just on the numbers, but on the sheer engineering genius packed into a muscle the size of your fist. Probably the most incredible machine in the known universe.
And it's running inside you right now, a pretty staggering thought to take with you.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive